So if we look at the Union attack into the western part of the Confederacy during the Civil War, um, the first advance happened down here at Fort Donelson and Fort Henry as the forces led by General Ulysses S. Grant sweep into Tennessee after two decisive victories. So we're looking at south central Tennessee, this area, and that's where the Battle of Shiloh will happen. Grant's forces were camping out, not expecting an attack from the Confederates, and they were surprised attacked in April 6th of 1862. They were caught off guard and driven backwards. Part of the forces were surrounded at what was called the Hornet's Nest, but Grant never gave up, and he got driven up a high ridge and got the high ground, reorganized overnight, received reinforcements, and then in a massive counterattack, due to his perseverance, the perseverance of his men, they swept the Confederates off the battlefield and pushed them back, opening up a pathway to the Mississippi River, which is exactly what the Union had set out to do. It was a horrible battle, more than 20,000 casualties, but a huge Union victory to give them access to the Mississippi River. So this allows them to sweep down the river this way. Now the Union Navy needs to start sweeping up the river from New Orleans. Terrible bloody battle in the woods at Shiloh Church. Shiloh meant a place of peace, which is very ironic because it was not a place of peace. There's Grant's massive counterattack off the Tennessee River. Down in New Orleans, General David Farragut, who had been an admiral in the Navy for many years, a sailor all his life, had his charge of his first boat, ironically at age 12. Tried to take on the massive forts guarding the mouth of the Mississippi River and access to New Orleans. These forts were built to keep the British out of New Orleans during the War of 1812, and were very effective, and it's where Andrew Jackson made his stand. For days, Farragut's forces bombarded the forts, but to no success. Finally, in a fearless move, Farragut covers his boats with mud, puts trees on them, wraps them in chains, and decides to sail past the forts no matter what anyway in the middle of the night. And so they moved as fast as they could in the middle of the river and tried to sneak past the Confederate forts. Eventually, the Confederates found out about them and bombarded them with cannon fire, and a massive battle ensued. But Admiral Farragut got his men, most of his boats and his men, past the forts, and they took New Orleans and then moved up the river to take Baton Rouge and eventually Natchez, Mississippi. It's a terrible cannon fight in the middle of the night for New Orleans. Now, as Grant's men march south and Farragut's men sail up north, the last stronghold for the Confederates on the river is Vicksburg, Mississippi. We'll learn about more of that in the future.